cleverly put it on the shelf that's right here. So, our tools this evening are Victim Canvas, silicone doohickey that's supposed to be for either making eggs or pancakes, and I'm like, who makes pancakes that are this small? But I digress. And these little lovely things with high gauge needles. Well, I hate needles, so the fact that I'm even using these is kind of hysterical. Just saying. Point is, at one point, this guy, did a version of this with a really small little subway tile, I want to say. It was really small, 4x7, I think. And I was curious if it would continue to work on something that wasn't already smooth, aka this, and then bigger. Because 4x7, you know, it's adorable and all, but it's like, nobody cares. It's a 4x7. So, I got this because it's big enough that I figured it might hold enough paint. And ounce-wise, it's about, I did terrible measurements of this off screen. 5 ounces-ish. So, what are these? Blunt fill needle, 15 gauge, 10 milliliter lower lock syringes. I don't know what they're actually supposed to be for, but when he was doing those on the little itty bitty tiles, he was using these little squeezy bottles with very tiny gauge needles that are, I believe, originally for henna designs on like skin and stuff. And I'm like, nah, that's too little. So we're gonna go big or go home. Maybe a little column A, a little column B. Weird. So, we're gonna make paint McMuffins, I guess. This is like wicked off balance. What the crap? Huh. Okay. Oh, you know what? It might be all the paint buildup on it. No! Alright. Let's try this one instead. Yep. Son of a... Alright, everybody give the cup a salute. It's got too much paint buildup and is no longer usable. RIP. I likes me the bigs experiments. It's like, small scale is great and all, but it's like, what good is it if you can't put it on a big canvas? I mean, honestly, people. Let's see if this guy works. I think this one is just a shit. It's a shit. Yeah, it's just a shit. Whatever. So, the other thing is every time somebody does this thing, they're always using white. Which I'm just like, can we not? White's boring. So, this is actually from something else that I was going to do the other day, and then I got distracted by, you know, existence. So, we're going to start with a base of black. Black and pouring medium like to separate out if they sit around for a bit. I don't know. I also got bigger popsicle sticks to stir in the big cups with, so now my fingers don't turn like fun colors when I'm just stirring paint. Yes! So this is the background color. And now I need to pick out like a random assortment of other colors. So, let's see. What crap do I have sitting back here before I knock down the planet here? Okay. Let's use up all these blues that I'm like, go away, blue. Works for me. So, I'm gonna use these as victims for now. Beep. Ugh, I'm using blues. Okay. Snacky foods are important. No, not. That's a completely different color. That's funny. Oh, what's the color shiftings? How much fun is that? That's color shift paint that I forgot I did. Whoops. And amusingly, so is this. Probably shouldn't use 2 color shifts because that's a lot of colors and shifting. I think you're a plain color. Let's find out. Come here, Mr. Cup. Good, it's a plain color. Okay. I'm gonna send you back to the bullpen here. Oh. Oh my god, that was a terrible choice. So if you just let the pouring medium kind of like dry, literally it's plasticky. Like, this is why my stuff looks like it does. This is just clear pouring medium. This is what it hardens as. What you want? It's kind of fun. Okay. I wasn't kidding when I said it's effectively like Elmer's Glue-ish. Anyway. I have to put a little bit more in that one because it's like a tar, almost. It's like gross. It's almost. Oh. Oh god, this stuff stinks. Oopsie dooge. I may need more of this for this one. Keep it open while I check here. I don't know, this one's not too bad actually. Alright. Something like on the underside of the cup, it's like being a wingy, clingy stooce, like it usually is. Get off! This stuff is so weird. Anyway, into the trash. Now the trickiest part here is going to be, how do I get ye old paints into these doohickeys, and I'm like, well, what did I get on myself already? Orange medium, cute. Okay. Alright, that's not too bad. Alright. So, this is gonna be a mess, probably, because I have to aim in this itty bitty teeny little slot, but maybe it'd help if I did not have the popsicle stick sitting in here charging at me like a freaking popsicle stick. Sit, stay. Good popsicle stick. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Some of it's already coming out. Oh no! That was a satisfying noise. Whoop. Oh yeah, it's gonna come out when I push this thing back in. Oh well. See? I mean, I can try sucking it in. Nah, that's what she said. Oh, that works. Oh, but it's hard as hell. Well then. Yeah, it's not working too hot. I pull this closer to me so it's a little less painful here. Okay, I'm not really sure how I did that one, but okay. It's like fighting me trying to get this paint up inside of it. It's kind of amazing. Whatever. Okay, so I've got these 3 different blues. And those. And I've got my black here. Oh my god. So this is going to leak out of the edges because there's just no friggin' way for it not to. But the majority of this is going to be this base color. And then what I'm going to do is thread the colors through this. Basically, we're making I think the technical term is open dirty pour. Hi, Pyro. I'm gonna put gloves on. Because once you go black, you never go back. I'm actually kind of impressed with how well that's staying in there. I expected it to leak out of the ring like... well, like it does. Anyway. So the trick here is going to be me threading the blue through this without puncturing the canvas. Ergo, my comment about this being a disaster. So, well, that wasn't helpful. Why is the stupid needle cap thing not just coming off? Can you, like... Thank you. That's a new one. Kind of stuck in there. Oh, whatever. Alright. So that's Not all of it, but some of it at least. I'm probably gonna put more in. I just need to mess with the other colors too. There we go. Apparently, have to turn it into the lock position. Whatever the F that means. I feel like I'm doing some crazy ass like culinary food thing where they inject the meat with marinades like straight into it, so it definitely gets all the way through. I forget what. I don't even remember why I'm remembering that particular method of whatever, but we'll go with it anyway. Number 3. Whoop! I did not mean to do that. I'm feeling the canvas every so often, but that was just a ginormous squirt of the paint because it just, the stopper just went, I'm going to depress now. Like, okay, well then, you do what you want. You do you, boo. See what I mean? Oh, these noises, they're amazing. All right, so I don't know if you could see it from above, but the ring is almost entirely filled with paint at this point. Also, noises. It's filled with fart noises. Because all painting should be filled with fart noises. This is either going to be really, really cool or really, really tragic. You guys ready? Ready? It's going to basically just come out and go everywhere. But it's going to be a mess. A glorious mess. For science. Burp, 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 burp. I'm just going to let it go. See what it does. You can see all the air bubbles. Oops. Kind of neat. I can also tell this is kind of off kilter a little bit. That's alright. I make feeks later. It's pretty cool. Alright. Can you not with the sticking and the tape and being a dingus? That'd be great, thanks. I'm gonna see if I can get some paint coverage going here. I'm not sure how much of this is going to get lost or subsided because it's going basically underneath as paint densities do their thing, but we'll see what happens, I guess. On the plus side, it looks like I was pretty damn close on my guesstimate of how much paint it took to fill the ring up. I'm probably going to cheat a little bit here and just use black here on the edges because I don't really want to lose any of the blue parts. I mean, obviously I'm going to, but... I got a ton of black paint sitting here. Fuck it, right? Fuck it. You can see here on the edges where the blue kind of came through on the bottom. So it's all the way down at the bottom layer. Not the top. So that's kind of funky. I wonder if me doing this will let me tilt it a little bit and keep the blue. That's kind of the other thought I was kind of working with here. Oh yeah, for sure, energy. This one definitely plays a lot on, this one will play a lot with paint densities as it dries, for sure. It's also completely off kilter, as you can see, as it's bouncing with me here. So I'm gonna have to tilt it more towards this corner a little bit. But I wanted to do this to get it to like flow a little easier. It was hitting, it was creating one of those little ridges where it's like the fluid tension isn't enough to break it, so it goes through. So I'm like, fuck it, let's do this then. So some of the blues I went all the way down to the canvas with the needle, and then some of them, as you can see, like some of the brighter pops up here, that's for me leaving it up on the top. It's kind of, I don't know if you can see the color shift a little bit on the camera, but it's kind of funky to see how it's reacting a little. The color shift is showing in a bunch of different spots. It's also being a dingus about like covering the edges here. Oh, I have color shift on my finger, that's fun. Some of these canvases lately, like, it just feels like the very edges, just, they're like, no, I don't want paint here, and you can't make me, and I'm all like, shut up. Shut up! Take the paint! Very annoying. Ugh. Not a lot I can do about it either. But there's also a lot of bubbles in this, so I'm gonna pop them with a torch in a second. Fire, 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 fire. Lots and lots of fire. But it's definitely cool. I'm glad that it worked with black too. Anyway, wipe some of this shit off my hand. Yeah, the glassy is kind of cool, and that's why I tend to use the pouring medium a lot, because it kind of keeps the glassy thing, and then when I do varnish paintings, I use a gloss varnish to keep it too, because I think it loses something when it doesn't have it. Ready? Arr! Got these bubbles over here. Sometimes this will make it start doing like weird cell things too, so. I see you, bubble. Fuck off. Yeah, you too. I'll probably have to do that again in a little bit, but I got a lot of the worst of them, I think. I'm just taking a gander for more. It looks good. But I do like the kind of wispy, smoky effect this gives, especially down in here. You can kind of see it looks a little smoky. It's kind of neat. This is one of the few times I think you can actually see the 3 different shades of blue, too. That's fun. And you can see the color shift a lot here in the middle, which is nice. What was the other thing I was going to do as a crazy ass experiment? I don't remember. Oh, the squeezy bottle thingy-majig. So I bought these ginormous 32-ounce squeezy bottles, but I'm like, I'm messing with that tonight because that's a lot of paint in a bottle. I did a lot of down, up, down, up, down, up while I was dropping the needle in, just to see what it would end up doing. Kind of interesting, because you could see a little bit in here where they're layered a little differently. Like up top on this one is the lighter one, but underneath you could see how like I went under it with the darker, so it's kind of funky. It's actually staying pretty still now, which is good, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna have to touch the edges up because they're just being... It's refusing to coat, which is annoying, but it's doing a little drip here, but it's not too bad. Oh, that's funky. I don't know if you could see this. This is like these cells that are forming as it's settling a little bit. Like I said, the paint densities are going to do weird ass shit with this one in particular. I'm looking for air bubbles right now, honestly, because I had to stir this all up just, as you saw, just before I used it. So I'm expecting there to be lots and lots of air bubbles, unfortunately. It seems to be alright, that's that first pass. I'm hoping these little bits here, and here stick around because they're kind of funky looking. What was I gonna do? I had a terrible idea that I wanted to try. God damn it. I hate when my brain is just like, oh, and I'm broken. Oh. So one of the other things that people do a lot are dirty pours, and they want to do, they're doing them with like open tubes and things, and stacking them up and then letting it go. I forget what size these are. 3 ounces? 3 ounces? Maybe? I don't remember anymore. I want to say this is 3 ounces. So what I was thinking was, what happens if you pop the bottom out of one of these guys and use it almost like a tube, fill it up as far as you want, and then shove it around, as opposed to doing like fill it up, drop it, and pray for the best kind of a method? Which I think other people have done before. I think this is shifting this way. I think. Definitely looks like it. I'm gonna kick your ass. Let's cheat. God. All I hear, like, I feel like 24/7 now is fucking planes landing over my head, and it's just driving me insane. Anyway. I'm just going to do this one more time to make sure I get all the air bubbles out. Because when it dries, it leaves little holes, I guess, for lack of a better way of putting it. Which they kind of suck. Holes are good for lots of things. Painting, not so much. And this, because it's silicone, should just clean right up. In theory, anyway.